The stars had always mocked him. From the slums of New Terra's mining colonies, Aron Vale watched the glittering expanse of the upper orbit cities where the rich floated in towers of glass, while he toiled in the dust below. He dreamed of owning a ship, a way out, a freedom vessel, but dreams cost money, and money was the one thing he didn't have. Then came the ad. Interplanetary marriage contract. Generous reward plus starship ownership upon successful union. Applicants must be human males, 25 to 40. Must be open-minded regarding physical and biological diversity. He'd laughed when he read it. Then, 3 days later, hunger made the decision for him. The marriage. The shuttle that carried him to Varney's. For smelled like antiseptic and regret. Other men were aboard too. Quiet, nervous, all pretending not to be desperate. The brides awaited them in the Varney's citadel. Members of the alien Corthan race, large-bodied and amphibious, known for their strength, intelligence and wealth. Rumor said they were dying out and needed genetic diversity. Aron was matched with Lady Glirra. When she entered the hall, the floor shuddered beneath her weight. She was enormous, towering over him, her thick, gelatinous body rippling with each step. Her eyes were huge amber orbs, her voice deep and slow like liquid thunder. "You are small," she said, studying him. "But your eyes burn. I like that." Aron bowed awkwardly. "And I like your confidence, my lady." Her mouth spread in what might have been a smile. "You will learn to like more." The ceremony was over in minutes. A band of golden biogel was pressed into Aron's wrist, a bond mark linking his life to hers. In return, he was promised one of her ships after a year of loyal companionship. 1 year, 1 ship. He could endure anything for that. The palace of flesh and silence. Glirra's palace was vast, humid, and strangely alive. The walls pulsed faintly, as though the structure itself breathed. Servants, smaller Corthans, glided through the misty halls, silent and watchful. Aron was given a chamber adjoining Glirra's. Food was plentiful, luxuries unimaginable. Yet something felt wrong. There were no windows. The air was thick, heavy with pheromones that made his head swim. At night she would come to him. Her shadow filled the doorway, her presence blotting out the light. She spoke softly, her tendrils brushing his face like ribbons. "You humans hunger for freedom," she would murmur. "But you do not understand belonging. You will learn." He forced a smile, playing the part of the devoted husband. "Of course, my lady." But inside he counted days. Days until the ship would be his. The revelation. Weeks passed, and Aron began exploring while Glirra slept in her nutrient pool. He found sealed doors, humming with faint blue light. Behind one he caught the sound of crying. Human crying. He returned at night, pried the lock open with a stolen tool, and entered. The room was lined with pods. Inside each one, humans. Men like him, their bodies connected to tubes. Their eyes fluttered behind closed lids. One of them stirred as Aron approached. "Don't marry her," the man rasped. "The ship never leaves the palace. She feeds on us." Aron's stomach turned cold. Before he could speak, alarms shrieked. The air thickened, and Glirra's voice echoed through the walls. "Little husband," she sang, "why are you wandering where you should not?" Aron. The corridors warped as he fled, walls pulsing faster, slick under his hands. It was then he realized the palace wasn't a building. It was alive. It was her. Trap. He burst into their chamber, gasping. His bag was already packed, escape plan rehearsed. But when he reached the airlock, it was sealed. The bond mark on his wrist burned. Glirra emerged from the shadows, her massive form glistening under the biolights. "You were going to leave me," she said, her tone almost tender. "Did you think I did not know?" "Let me go," he said, trembling. "We had a deal." She laughed, a sound like cracking ice. "The deal was for my amusement. You humans are such fragile things, so greedy, so easy to tempt. I needed your genes, your hope, your want." He stumbled back. "You can't." Her tendrils lashed out, wrapping around him. "I can. You will live, husband. You will feed me with dreams of freedom until they rot away." The room darkened as her body absorbed the light, and Aron screamed as the biogel around his wrist pulsed, sinking into his skin. The prison ship. When he awoke, everything was still. He was no longer in the palace but aboard a ship. Sleek, silver, beautiful. A ship. Or so he thought. The controls responded to his touch. The stars gleamed beyond the viewport. A laugh bubbled in his throat. He'd done it, escaped her. He pulled the throttle. Nothing happened. Outside, the stars remained motionless. He wasn't moving. He wasn't in space. He was inside something. Then her voice came, low and intimate, through the comms. "Do you like your ship, my darling? I made it from my own body. You're safe inside me. Forever." He pounded the console, screaming. But the walls began to close in, the hum of life surrounding him like a heartbeat. "No," he shouted. "You can't keep me here." "Shoo," she whispered. "You married me to escape poverty. Now you shall never know hunger again. You will live as part of me." The stars outside blinked once, then vanished into darkness. Epilogue. Months later, a new ad appeared on the interstellar net. Interplanetary marriage contract. Generous reward plus starship ownership upon successful union. And somewhere deep within Glirra's living palace, a faint human voice whispered from behind the walls. "Don't sign, please don't." Aron awoke to silence. His head throbbed, his lungs heavy as if he'd inhaled syrup. Around him stretched the cockpit of a gleaming vessel. His ship. The console pulsed with soft golden lights, and for a moment, he laughed in disbelief. He had done it. He had escaped her. "Manual control engaged," the ship's voice chimed. Aron gripped the throttle, heart pounding, and pushed forward. Nothing happened. He frowned and tried again. The engines hummed, but the stars outside didn't move. He was surrounded by an endless void, no navigation data, no coordinates, just stillness. Then came the voice. Deep, sultry, and inescapably familiar. "Do you like it, my husband?" His blood turned to ice. "Glirra." Her laughter rolled through the hull like thunder. "Yes. You wanted a ship, so I gave you one. You are inside me now, safe where you belong." The walls began to ripple. The metallic surface beneath his hands felt warm, alive. Panic surged. He slammed his fists against the door, but the sound was swallowed by the pulsing heartbeat echoing through the chamber. "You said you wanted freedom," she whispered, her tone almost loving. "But freedom is pain, Aron. Inside me you'll never starve, never suffer. You will be mine, forever." "Let me out," he screamed, but the air thickened, and his body grew heavy. The ship's lights dimmed until only one remained, the biogel band on his wrist, glowing faintly before fading into his skin. Outside, the ship drifted through the void. No engines, no destination. Just a living creature carrying its newest husband within. And deep inside, Aron's muffled voice whispered into eternity. "Don't marry her, please don't."